People are accustomed to routine events. However, something strange occurring anywhere in the world evokes interest across the globe. You might be familiar with certain mysteries, so let us introduce you to a few mysterious events that are bound to pique your interest. From the true story of a young boy going into a coma and waking up speaking a completely different language, to actual rivers of fire, we've got it all. Some would be terrified to know the star in the galaxy disappeared suddenly, for which astronomers could find no reason. These jaw-dropping events will make you feel like a very small and helpless part of a divine plan. Before we get started, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe and click the notification bell for more such amazing content. Number 12. Unknown life form in North Carolina. This video showing a mysterious form of life in North Carolina was viewed over 5 million times on the web. Due to public curiosity, a large number of people were drawn by the idea of visiting the site to personally witness the scene, as some of them considered it might be an alien. On July 3, 2009, images showing a shining, pulsating creature with no visible face were taken. This created a lot of buzz amongst the internet users. People thought it might be a monster, but the mystery was soon uncovered. It was discovered that seemingly large creature was the home of an enormous number of tubifex worms. The pulsating movement caught by the camera was in fact a response of the worms to the strong heat created by the rays of the cameras. According to scientists, the formation of such worm colonies is a common feature and does not pose any danger to the city's water quality, water pipes, as well as the population, unless the worm colony becomes huge in size, so as to clog the water supply lines. Number 11. Schoolchildren encounter aliens. In the past, many incidents of aliens and UFOs have been seen by people in different parts of the world. These incidents become quite a serious issue when a large number of people, especially a group of innocent children, claim to have seen some unknown creature. Such an incident occurred in 1994 in the Ariel School at Ruwas Village in Zimbabwe. 60 schoolchildren aged from 6 to 12 years of age claimed to have met an alien who talked to them. The creature advised them regarding taking care of the environment. Authenticity of the incident is amply supported by the saying, "Children and crazy people don't lie." A description of a strange creature, including its picture drawn by all the children, was almost similar. They also very elaborately drew images of what could be a UFO. The funniest aspect of the story was that they all informed their teacher that the alien man resembled famous pop star Michael Jackson. However, interesting fact remains that it could be termed as an actual encounter with an alien. On the following day, parents invariably called to the school inquiring why their children were so frightened. The teacher had no idea as to how to answer it. Number 10. Strange groaning sounds in Alaska. Anyone can imagine how terrifying it must be to be woken up at 5 a.m. in the morning to a strange trumpet-like sound coming from an unknown location. A similar incident took place in Anchorage, Alaska. A hair-raising, deep, mysterious sound traveled throughout the city and was also heard in other towns in the vicinity. Certain local residents shared that they heard sounds of metal ruffling against the metal at the far end of the city. The most fearsome part of the story is that no one knew with certainty what actually happened. They told the sound seemed to come in bursts, and its intensity increased with the passage of time. When the scary sounds made a buzz on the internet, a lot of people shared similar experiences in different parts of the world. Some of the people may think it had been the noise of some strange object, like a UFO having developed some technical fault. Subsequently, no explanation came up regarding the incident. What would your opinion be? Number 9. The star disappearance mystery. Generally speaking, a star collapses or bursts before disappearing and becoming part of a black hole. This process leads to a huge explosion which can be distinctly observed from the planet by the astronomers. But it becomes quite puzzling when a massive star disappears overnight without leaving any trace of its existence. The astronomers don't have any logical evidence or clue to explain what actually happened. A star located approximately 75 million light-years away in the Kingdom of Galaxy in the constellation of Aquarius, a team of renowned astronomers were constantly keeping an eye on it and studying its behavior. They were astonished to see that the star surprisingly disappeared without making so much as a sound, let alone any explosion. It can most probably be considered to transform into a black hole, but it vanished without exploding. If it's accepted as such, then it would be the first ever incident of its type, which raised a lot of questions. So far, our knowledge about black holes is rudimentary. However, it is believed that they're created by a supernova. That means a giant star implodes or collapses on itself. This incident indicates our limited knowledge of stars and puts a real question mark on authenticity of what we presently know. Number 8. UFO. In the recent past, the United States Pentagon released 2 fabulous videos. In one video, US Air Force pilot spots through his cockpit window a very strange object flying near his aircraft, which could not be compared to anything else that we know. The pilot, through his cockpit, could feel immense heat of light emitted by the UFO. The UFO was flying in a manner as if it was trying to assess the plane and its capabilities. It was flying swiftly and steadily without making any noise or sound. Neither the CIA nor American military were in a position to comment about the reality of this UFO. Later on, US President Joe Biden indicated that a detailed report would be issued by June 1, 2021. However, no one actually knew what could be the real cause or explanation for this strange incident. Could it be a reconnaissance mission by an alien ship for carrying out assessment regarding our military aircraft? Most people tend to believe it is. However, some skeptics say it might be a drone, but it's quite difficult to believe that it's an unfamiliar drone flying at such a high altitude while emitting exceptional bursts of heat and maintaining immense speed as well as stability. Number 7. Mystery seeds from China. Thousands of small packages containing different types of seeds were delivered to the American citizens. Apparently, these came from China. Seed packets were sent across randomly, and folks who received them could not ascertain the purpose behind this gift. People claimed the object is to destroy American plant species and crops through these abrasive seeds. Others thought it would be part of some form of biological warfare. Accordingly, government officials requested the news stations to pursue the general public to avoid planting the seeds at all costs and not to even open the packets. Certainly, some of the people ventured to plant the seeds, and they informed that the plants grew very rapidly and had large white fruit and orange flowers resembling a squash plant. It was later found that the packages carried seeds of fruits, herbs, vegetables, weeds and ornamental plants, and they proved to be harmless. As per the concerned agency, the incident did not form part of agro-terrorism. However, there is some food for thought here. Who would send such a large number of seed packages to the common people, and for what purpose? Number 6. The mystery of the Mary Celeste. Scientists have been haunted by a terrifying maritime mystery which remains unsolved even today. An American registered vessel named the Mary Celeste, having supplies for 6 months, was found on May 18, 1861. 400 miles off the east of the Azores Island in the Atlantic Ocean. The vessel was fully seaworthy with all cargo on board quite intact. Its cargo comprising food and supplies was sufficient to sustain for 6 months. It seemed to have been not even touched by anyone in a long time. The sail of the Mary Celeste was fully functional and there seemed to be no signs of any structural damage either. The most mysterious thing was that the vessel crew, including the captain and his family, had gone missing without leaving behind any note or anything worthy of tracing their location. An extensive investigation followed the incident, which remained inconclusive and has not yet ended. Nobody across the globe could offer a plausible explanation covering the factors leading to the incident. Subsequently, the vessel was secretly buried into a watery grave, leaving hardly any evidence to proceed further. Number 5. Saturn Hexagon Storm. A hexagon-shaped storm that brewed up in the northern pole of Saturn has been baffling astronomers and scientists for so many decades since it was first observed in the 1980s. The mechanism for this storm cannot be explained, but it can be observed from the planet Earth with the help of a mega telescope which aids in deciphering the storm. We understand when seen from space, storms on Earth look spiraling or circular in shape, but nevertheless they do not encompass the entire area of the pole. But it's been seen that the storm on Saturn covers the whole of its northern pole. Its width is approximately 20,000 kilometers, which simply means that we can put 2 planets equal to the size of the Earth in the area of this storm. Interestingly, in Saturn storms, winds tend to blow at a speed of 3,000 miles per hour. And the most astonishing thing is that it forms a hexagonal shape. One can imagine that teachers of physics must be scratching their heads in confusion by this. No scientist knows whether this specific shape is formed due to some particular reason or sheer accident. Powerful computers at NASA are running various scenarios to understand what conditions or factors led to the creation of such a peculiar situation. So far, we all remain puzzled as this riddle from space remains unanswered. Number 4. Mysterious island that isn't there. Since early 20th century, an island has been marked on all maps in the world. The island is situated in the Pacific Ocean, just northwest of Australia, in a sea known as the Coral Sea. Supposedly, the French discovered this island in 1876. It's distinctly marked on all modern maps like Google Maps and general data charts of oceans. It's around 3 kilometers wide and 15 kilometers long. So far, there's nothing weird about it. But wait. The real surprise came when an Australian research team tried to land on this. They were baffled to find out there was no island at all. Although the island is marked on all maps, it doesn't actually exist in the sea. All geoscientists are extremely puzzled as they cannot find any plausible reason for the disappearance of this island. One possible cause can be that computers used for creating modern maps copied it from the past and had its existence in their record. At times, mistakes in maps may happen due to an oversight, as these might have been published without carrying out proper updating for decades. The error may just be addressed by correcting or creating new software for the maps. Number 3. Christmas Island National Park. Did you know that a unique species called red crabs inhabits Christmas Island National Park? They have an entire different breeding process which is linked with the phases of the moon. During the last quarter of the moon, spotting takes place before the sun rises on spring tide. It happens precisely at the right moment, irrespective of the weather and any other condition. Interestingly, red crabs don't live in the water. They plan their migration towards the coastline very meticulously, so they complete the process and lay the eggs before the start of the morning next day. It seems they have the sense to predict weather conditions very precisely. How they do it is still a mystery for all of us. Number 2. A river on fire. A mysterious fire incident occurred in Condamine River in Queensland, Australia. We know that methane gas is pretty inflammable. A huge quantity of methane gas started accumulating in the river. It bubbled up on the surface of the water and suddenly caught fire with an explosion. This methane gas was the result of fracking in the area surrounding the river, which is not a norm. This huge quantity of methane gas resulted in enormous flames which continued burning uninterrupted for over an hour as the supply of methane continued rising for quite some time. You can guess how dreadful a scene it would be when unexpectedly one is confronted with blazing hot flames, and that in the river too. People in Australia conducted a campaign against fracking as this fire not only led to the mystery, but affected water and also added toward the atmospheric pollution, especially an increase in greenhouse gases which adversely affects the ozone layer. Number 1. Teenager woke up from coma speaking a different language. In Kentucky, USA, a 16-year-old boy suffered a concussion and went into a coma. After several days' struggle, when he recovered, all his physicians were left baffled by what happened next. The boy woke up and literally started speaking a new language, Spanish. Not just a few words or sentences, he actually spoke quite fluently for someone who had never spoken this language in his life. One might imagine that it happened due to a severe blow which he received on his head. The worrying part of the story relates to the fact that he started facing problems in speaking his mother tongue, English. This resulted in learning difficulties at school and served as a communication barrier between him and his family members. The boy had suffered an accident while playing soccer, which he actually played professionally. It was in fact the third time he had had a concussion. Neurologists are bewildered in their quest to find some real analogy or reason for this peculiar incident in which the brain resorted to self-learning of an entirely new language, that too in just a few days. No doubt the human brain is capable of marvelous things, but this one truly surpasses the inexplicable things we've heard of. So, what do you guys think of these incredibly confusing events that left even the greatest minds wondering what really happened? Some people believe in these, whereas others just deny. But reality is, the universe is full of things that the human mind, or science, is not yet able to explain. Do tell us in the comments which of these surprised you the most. For more interesting videos, visit our channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you all next time.